Fear stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who is feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. Dr. Charmaine Gregory, night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion, along with everyday heroes just like you, will explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 101 of the Fearless Freedom with Dr. G podcast. Oh my goodness, it's celebration time. Come on. Okay, cue the band, cue Kool and the Gang, that is. Okay, wait. Who's with me? Am I dating myself? Does anybody even know who Kool and the Gang is? Regardless, let's celebrate all the wins because that is what it is all about. This week's episode was recorded live on YouTube, on Facebook, as well as on LinkedIn. So if you want to see the antics and you want to see the facial expressions, hop on over to my channels and check it out. And that is at Charmaine, CHARMAINE, GREGORY, M as in man, D as in dog. So Charmaine Gregory MD. So check it out there. And this is episode 101. As I said, I am just so excited about the fact that we have burst into the centurion mark and we are just going like gangbusters. That has been 101 times that we have gathered together to face our fears and emerge victoriously. 101 times that you have participated in our awesome Fearless Freedom Tribe. 101 times and 101 opportunities for me to say thank you and express my gratitude to you for joining me on this journey to your greatness. 101 times you contributed to the show to bring us to the 18,000 download milestone. Whoop, 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 whoop. And now we are nearing the 19,000 download milestone. Oh my gosh, I cannot even express how excited I am about that. It has been such a phenomenal journey with you. And so thank you for helping to make the podcast a success. And of course, I am doing my happy dance. I know you can hear it in my voice. So we insert the happy dance emoji here. We envision my craziness as I am dancing. And thank you so much for subscribing to the podcast, listening to the podcast, sharing it with a friend or two, and leaving a the coveted 5-star rating. I thank you so much for all of this. So in the vein of expanding our tribe, of, spreading the love of our tribe, I should say, we are going to be launching the swag shop, and that's coming in 2021. Yay! And I am so grateful for all the feedback that I've gotten so far on the kind of swag to have. Now, we've had suggestions like tech swag, like blue blockers or jump drives, earphones. We've also had suggestions for masks, stickers, water bottles. Well, you'll be happy to know that I actually designed the first sticker in the shop today. Well, not today, yesterday, 2 days ago. And I am not a designer, so of course, bear with me on that one. But it's very basic, but hey, it speaks to our mission. So more swag is going to be added, and we are planning on launching the swag shop in the beginning of the year. Whoop, whoop. Thank you for everything helping that to happen. Now, podcasts on the podcasting launch course are cranking it out. I mean, blaze, pure fire. The amazing women that took the course have incredible content and incredible shows that are indeed pure fire. So how can you help? How can you make a difference with these awesome shows? Well, you can check them out. You can show them some love by subscribing, leaving a 5-star rating, sharing, and leaving a positive comment. That would be awesome. The first show is Pivot and Bloom, which, by the way, oh my goodness, had a great milestone the other day. She surpassed 25 episodes. So whoop, whoop. Good job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I know she's well over 1,000 subscribers. So that is 1,000 downloads. So absolutely awesome. So Pivot and Bloom is a podcast put on by Dr. Mila, and she talks about how you can change, flourish, and repeat. And she explores some deep topics on the show that this is one that you should add to your queue because it is not to be missed. And then Patty Perez brings the fire with the podcast that she has, which is The Drama-Free Workplace with Patty Perez. And oh man, if you're looking for solutions for difficult conversations at work, difficult conversations in life, this is the show to listen to. Patty brings the practical examples. She does the deep dives into topics that not so comfortable. So definitely check it out. Add this one to the queue. And another one that is a must-have for your queue is Living at Your Finest. Now, this podcast is by Dr. Babalola, and she does an amazing job talking about health, personal development, and she makes it fun, faith-based, and fundamental. So this is one that you do not want to miss from your queue. Get it on there, get listening, and support, show love to help these podcasts spread the word that they have. So thank you so much for all of that. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing these podcasts love, and thank you for adding them to your queue. Now, you're looking at all of this, and you probably have a little bit of FOMO, and you're probably saying, you know what? I've been wanting to start a podcast. Is this a good time? Oh my goodness. This is such an excellent time to start a podcast. This is a phenomenal time to start a podcast. Why? Everybody's home, everybody's listening, everybody's wanting to have content to consume. And why not let it be your voice? Why not let your voice of expertise be intimately streamed to the ears of your personal tribe? So if you're interested in doing this and you have no idea where to start and you're looking for a course to take, well, why not just jump in on the next course? Now, okay, wait, I did say the next course, didn't I? And there is a waiting list, granted, but we do have rolling admission. So how can you get into the podcast and launch course? You jump on the waiting list, which is at bit.ly/P as in Paul, L as in Larry, C as in Charlie, Waits list, WAITLIST, okay? You jump on there, we'll get you in, and we'll get you enrolling admissions. You jump on, you get going. You can probably even get your show done and ready to roll first thing 2021. Get it done in December. Jump in, get the course done, and get your show out there up and running. Why not? Why not? Jump off the fair fence. Let's do it. Now, maybe you're saying, you know what? I want to start a podcast, but I am way too busy to participate in a facilitated course, but you still want to go. You still want to go for it. Well, then maybe the podcast in a box is for you. Now, what happens to the podcast in a box? You basically do the audio for the first 5 episodes. You have major input, of course, because this is your baby, into the creation of your logo, the creation of your show art, the creation of your show notes. We do all the other heavy lifting. We get it all, put it together nicely for you. So you are all set to roll. You do the audio, you do the creative piece, we do the heavy lifting and make it look awesome and ready for launch. And how can you access this? You want to get your first 5 shows up and running. You want to get your show off the ground. All you need to do is reach out at bit.ly/D as in dog, F as in fish, Y as in yes, podcast. And we'll get you off the fair fence. We'll get your voice in your tribe's ear because that's where it belongs. That is where it belongs. And so today's episode, which is bum, 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 and I feel like I need a drum roll. Okay, you get a laptop roll. And basically, today's episode is episode 101, as I mentioned previously. Super excited about that. And this episode, like I said, was live. So if you want to see our facial expressions, you want to see, our antics, all of that good stuff, check it out at Charmaine Gregory MD on either YouTube, Facebook, or on LinkedIn. All right. So the guest on the show is doing incredible things as all of the guests have been doing that we had on the show so far. But she is focusing on educating our youth about financial things, raising money savvy kids. Now, who doesn't want that? Like, I know I had really amazing education from my mom, even though she really didn't realize she was doing it. But, this is a formal program that she has put together. The founder of Kids Money Academy, and her name is Dee. She's awesome. And so you have to check it out. If you have kids in your life. I don't care if you don't personally have kids, if you have a niece, a nephew, somebody, any child, any young human in your life, this is worth it, because getting them involved in having healthy money habits early is huge. Makes a huge difference for them as adults, and it's just less headache for them as adults. There you go. We'll leave it at that. All right, here it is. Check it out. Hello. Welcome, everybody. We are episode number 101. Unbelievable. Super excited. So glad you joined us. And today our guest is Dee. And Dee has an incredible mission that she's on to change the course of the future for our younglings. And this is through the Kids Money Academy. So, Dee, you have got to tell the Fearless Freedom Tribe about you and about the Kids Money Academy.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me today. So I help raise money-savvy kids with the tools that I provide and the guidance that I give.
Awesome. So you have to tell us, because there's always a backstory about how such a business got started. Like, there must have been something that prompted you to get this going.
Okay, so thank you for asking that. So I actually started the business in the beginning of this year in the midst of pandemic, and how this all came about is really the story goes back all the way to 17 years ago when I first decided to immigrate to the US from Turkey, Istanbul, with no money, no English, pretty much my college education in my back pocket from Turkey. And I came to the United States as an immigrant. And I created a life for myself that's I guess you can say American dream. I believe I did reach the American dream. And what I want to do is to share what I learned along the way with no resources that I had, that I was able to become financially free. So I wanted to share this with other young people, especially with the young kids. And with the pandemic, I had this urge that, this is the time, because I know people feel maybe discouraged, hopeless, and they don't feel like they have what they need, and they are limiting themselves. Maybe this is the time for me to start and this business and share my knowledge, what I know, because I know what it means when you have nothing and you have to make something out of it.
Something out of nothing. There you go. No, that's incredible. And thank you for sharing your story, because the immigrant story is such a poignant one. And so many immigrants come with a similar situation like you did from Turkey, basically coming to the States and not having anything, and then having to build up from there, from ground zero, which is phenomenal. People, you guys have heard my story already. We came to the United States and we had $40 in 2 suitcases, and look at us now. But it's like, but to hear that that's not an uncommon experience is
really encouraging, really phenomenal. And it gives hope to those who are maybe in a situation right now where they may think, oh my goodness, I just don't know what's going to happen. I cannot see a horizon that is in the future that's really going to help me to get back on my feet financially. Or maybe you are in a position where you just don't even know where to start. Like you have no idea. And so it's amazing that you are taking all of that knowledge and expertise, because you have some credentials that kind of go along with this. You know, I don't know if you're going to share that, but you have credentials that also go along with this experiential stuff. And you're able to put that in a package that helps not only the next generation, but also helps the parents, right? Because I know I've been like stalking you on Instagram because I just love your content. Absolutely amazing. And by the way, you guys, you have to go and follow her on Instagram at Kids Money Academy. Okay, check it out. And so basically, you know, all that content is just absolutely platinum because it's always practical. It's always like, you know, this is how you can show a child this. And so, of course, if you explain it in the level of a child's understanding, it's going to be great for any adult, right? And so that's the beautiful thing about it. So I'm grateful that you do it. And I share it as every time I see it, I share it because I'm like, there's another person that might benefit from this. And so, you know, I know that there had to be, I know that there had to be some fear involved in all of this. There had to be fear when you made the transition, you made the decision to come from Turkey to here. And then there had to be fear involved when you said, you know what, I have what it takes here. And for those who can't see the video, I'm pointing to my head. Like you were saying, I have what it takes here because I was trained, you know, I've trained my mind in Turkey. And so now I'm in a place though, where now it's like a completely different language. I have to relearn that. Yes. I'm sure you did English in Turkey too, but it wasn't to the extent where you didn't do any. Oh, so that's even more incredible.
My name is Dee.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was my starting point.
That is incredible. That's even more incredible. So you had to learn the language of the culture, right? Brand new culture, not like Istanbul. And then you had to learn the language of the people, you know, English, which you were starting with, my name is Dee. And then you also had to like, within that infrastructure, pull yourself up from zero to hero, which is incredible. So there had to be some fear stories in there. I just know there
are. So I'm a very action-oriented person, and I never buy into victim mentality, and I do have an abundance mindset, money mindset, and I think your audience can relate to this because a lot of your audience, I believe, are doctors. My dad was a doctor in Turkey. He was a Navy doctor, and you know, being a doctor in Turkey is a little bit different than here. We would always hear the doctors in the United States, they have the mansions and the big things, and then they make a lot of money.
Oh, that's so not true, but
I know, that's what we heard. But back in Turkey, especially being a military doctor, we didn't have a lot of money as a, you know, family with, you know, doctor salary, but my dad and my mom had this abundance mindset. We knew that money was gonna come in if we work hard. That was the one thing they did very well. So they always encourage us to work hard, and regardless if you can see the end of the tunnel or not, your hard work will pay off eventually. So that was so engraved in my mind growing up. Now, one thing, and I know a lot of doctors can relate to this, they didn't teach us how to actually save and keep the money that you have. So that was one of the struggles for me as growing up and coming here. So when I came here, although I didn't have any money, I knew first thing first, I had to learn English because that's the language of the society. So I had to learn English. So I put all my effort into that. And after that, I looked around. My degree was in economics. So I looked around and I said, okay, I want to make it in the United States, but what can I do that's timeless and and I don't have to worry about money so much. So that was my mindset, and I was in my 20s. And I thought, okay, if I become an accountant as a certified public accountant, and go to UCLA and get the certificates, the credits that I need to take the exam, then I will have more. I will have more freedom in the future, you know. So although I had fears, and a lot of people around me told me that my personality didn't really fit in accounting as an accountant, because I am an extrovert and I love trying new things. I was so hungry and determined to be successful in the United States. I didn't want to take my chance. And being an accountant, I knew I would bring the bacon.
Nice. Bring out the
Yes.
bacon.
So that's how my journey started. And then starting Kids Money Academy was another. I had to overcome some fears with the Kids Money Academy, because I do have a full-time job. I work 9 to 5. I teach at UCLA. So this will be the third thing that's on my plate, along with the two kids I have. So I had a lot of fears, but communicating this to my family and getting their support, and also knowing that all my fears is my ego protecting me, right? So knowing that my mission is bigger than my ego,
Oh,
it
wow.
really
So powerful.
helped me to overcome my fear.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Did you guys get that? That right there was the pearl drop. Okay. Like, boom, pearl drop. She said her ego got in the way. The ego was saying, no. Stay in the comfort zone. Do not venture out, because there's just too much growth out there. You don't want growth. You don't want to have abundance. No. Stay here. We're safe. Wow. That's huge. Where did you learn that? Was that something that you just happened to have like in the back pocket, or because that right there is like, that is such a pivotal piece of information or intel that allows for you to indeed step into the discomfort of, growth.
Yes. So every time I knew that video is the most powerful way for me to share my message. Okay. And then every time I was in front of the camera, I cringe. I'm like, ugh, like, now I'm not 20 anymore, like, I don't want to see myself on the video. And then I start listening other experts, and I don't remember who, but someone said, okay, every time when you cringe and you don't want to be in front of the camera, think about your mission that's bigger than you, your why. And when I think about my why is spreading this financial literacy knowledge to all the kids and around the US, around the globe. So that's my mission. So when I think about that, I'm like, who cares about my wrinkles and happy lines and everything. So but definitely first determining what my fear is, and then going out and look for solution. That's what helped me. And then once you look for a solution, you will find the solution, because there is someone out there talking about the problem that you have, and they have a solution.
Absolutely. Wow. No, that's great. I mean, I don't know if you realize this, people actually go to like big money personal development conferences and hire, coaches to get them to the point that you just delivered. And it sounds like you kind of like got there on your own, from how you're talking. Like during your journey, it sounds like you just figured out, well, okay, I know that this is where I need to go, and I know I need to focus on this, so I'm just going to do it, which is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. And that's such an encouragement, because there are, like I said, people who are out there searching, and they're wanting to come out of this situation that we're currently in better than they were when they entered, and they just don't know how, or they're afraid. And so the fact that you stepped out on fear like that, and you said, you know what, this is one more thing, but I engage. And this is a part that's really important. You engaged your family and you said, look, this is something that we're going to be adding to our legacy. This right here is going to make a huge difference in not just one or two lives. It's going to make a difference in many lives for a while. And so we need to do this. And so your why is so strong, which is incredible. And so, wow, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad that was helpful.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, so now we've talked about the journey and the fear that was associated with the transition to a new country, new language, new culture. And then we also talk about the fear that was associated with starting something completely new in the midst of a situation that was uncontrollable, right? The pandemic. Now, I would love it if you would tell more about what the baby that you have created. Like, tell people more about your baby, so that they will want to go right over to Instagram or go to the website. So Instagram is going to be at Kids Money Academy. And then if you are going to go to the website, it'll be kidsmoneyacademy.com. So you want people to go there. Like, what are they going to find when they get there?
Okay, they're going to find fun and easy money knowledge that they can teach their kids, and then the methods they are going to learn how they can transfer that knowledge and create generational wealth. The last thing I wanted to create is something boring, like any other I don't know, experts out there teaching kids how to teach about money. You know, a lot of experts tell us, oh, you must teach your kids about money. You need to teach your kids about money. But rarely they tell us how in a fun way. You know, we need to make it fun and easy for kids to understand. And consuming this information on a daily basis, little by little, will help you, because we will have, challenges. We will have different, I present the information in a different way. With if you're familiar with the Instagram, I use Reels, I use IGTV, I use my stories, I use text. So I'm trying to capture all of the different types of learners out there, not just one way, but different way. And I try out a lot of different things to see what works for people, and I double down on that. So that's why I think you need to go to Kids Money Academy in Instagram and follow me and tell me what you like and what you want to see more, so I can share more of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, so, I'll tell you that her reels are like off the chart. Like, I really love, this is the other thing too. It's like, we're in business, we're entrepreneurs, and we're like, it's definitely trial and error. The whole process is just trial and error, because you're just like, I don't know if it's going to work. You try the thing, and if it works, then fantastic. If it doesn't work, you're like, okay, well, lesson learned, move on, right? And so, but what I noticed is, when Reels came out, immediately you jumped on it. You were like, I'm just going to try this. And you did it. And you just can see like the evolution. Now your Reels are really, really, not that they were cool before, but they're like even more cool and engaging, and I think you did one the other day that was talking about the pink tax. And I was like, what? The pink tax? Like, how dare they? I was like, incredible. And then, you went into it, and I was just like, wow. So it was a really fun way, like you said, to convey the information. And it just got me thinking, because I'm like, wait, I have a daughter and I'm a woman. Like, what's this pink tax stuff? And so it really engages really nicely. So, you being an educator really helps, because like you said, you were aware of the different kinds of learners. And so you're targeting the visual, you're targeting the audio, you're targeting the tactile, because you have worksheets and things that people can print out, right? And I saw your son the other day cutting something out. So, I mean, there are all these things that you can do to really like solidify in your brain all the building blocks that you need in order to have an abundance mindset, and to get to that point where you're going to become financially free, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yep, exactly. And then as a busy mom, we don't have a lot of time. I mean,
Right.
I'm not going to probably, especially during pandemic, I'm not going to read a 2,000 word blog post. That's my reality right now. So, but 15 seconds video, anytime. I'm in the bed, like scrolling and just wanna, forget about things, like I'm scrolling. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that funny 15 seconds knowledge bomb.
Nice.
Yes, so that's why I really really like Instagram, because I can package the knowledge in a very concise, easily consumable way.
No, it's fabulous. And like I said, doing a great job of it.
Thank
And
you.
then so what are some steps? So now let's give those who are listening, whether they are parents or not, like, I mean, everybody's got a kid in their life, right? Everybody has some niece or nephew or a friend, even if you don't have any nieces and nephews or children of your own. And so what are some tips that they could leave, like, this listening to this episode with, that they can go and implement like right away?
Okay, that's a great question. So the first thing first, you need to establish an allowance schedule for your child, starting from age 4 to 5. Depends on the maturity level of your child. But remember, kids need to have money to learn how to manage. Nobody wants to be lectured. When we say save, 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 don't buy this, you don't ask for this, I don't have money, money doesn't grow on trees. You know how expensive that is? All of that talk is very scarcity oriented. So what you want to do instead, what I call my signature framework, it's positive money loop framework, which is we educate our kids, then we give control, and then we respect the decision they make. As you go through the loop over year after year, as you know, the things that you're going to teach your elementary school age child is not the same as a high school age child. But as you go through this loop over and over again, year after year, by the time they are 18, they are going to be ready for adulthood. Now, I said allowance because you want to make sure they have money to manage. Once they have money to manage, then you can set up the 3-jar system, which is save, spend, give jar. I do have a lot of freebie jar labels. It says save, spend, give on my website, kidsmoneyacademy.com. If you go in there will be a freebie vault. You can download the save, spend, give cash envelopes or money jar labels. But in addition to that, it doesn't stop there. So once you give the money, you set up the jars, you want to make sure they split up that money between all among those 3 jars. And week after week, when you do that, it's gonna build there's going to be a pattern, and some weeks your kids want to put 50%. Let's say they get $10 weekly. They are 10 years old and then they get $10. My son is 7 years old and he gets $7. Okay, let's say in this case, let's say 10. You have a 10-year-old daughter and she gets $10 per week. Let her make the choice, like let her make the decision which jar is going to get how much, because you want to give that control back to your child and allow her to make mistakes as she is splitting up her money. And then I do have a budget workbook for kids for age 5 through 10. It basically talks about this 3-jar system and gives them a week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 budgets that they can do and split up the money over week after week, so they know where their money is going. So it's important to establish that routine early on.
Awesome. So it's funny that you say this because this is amazing, right? And it's practical because it's something that you can do. If you haven't been doing it, you can start doing it right
Yep.
now. Now, the thing that we haven't done, so we give them the allowance and they do put money towards savings and they put money towards giving. We, however, have not given them the choice of how to divide that up. We basically say you have to give 10% to giving and then you save 90. There's no spend.
You want to give them option to also spend, right? They need to be able to enjoy their money. Now, my son, you would think that you want to save a child who saves all their money.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, as an adult, look at the people who have all that money. They want to keep them all for themselves. And we don't admire those people. I don't think anyone admires them. Now, my son loves to save. Like, he has 3 jars. His spend jar has 50 cents. His save jar has all the money. Maybe a parent would look at that and it's like, oh my gosh, so good. I look at it, I'm like, well, kiddo, you need to start enjoying some of that money. Let's put some of that money to spend money. What do you want to buy? So not necessarily being a saver is the ultimate goal. You want to have a life that's balanced. You don't want to raise like kid that's like keeps all his money or spends all of his or her money. So the balance is very important.
Yeah. So it's we need to. They probably need to spend more. They give and they save. They just don't spend.
We're gonna change that.
So we have to like make them have an opportunity to spend some. So that will balance things out a little bit. Yeah, no, it's great. And then you alluded to something else, like you're coming up with something like is it for investing for young children? What was it that you're coming up with next?
Okay, so I have ideas all day long, right? Like any other entrepreneur, but I have so many ideas. So my next thing is I wanna create an investment course for kids between age 5 to 10, and then maybe later for teens. But that's going to talk about the stock market, how stock market works, how interest and compound interest works. Maybe some of the stocks that their parents would like to buy for them, or they can buy with their save money. So they learn the concept of investing. So yes, so investment course is in horizon 2021.
Okay, awesome. Because I was telling you that my son came up to me the other day and he was like, you know what? I love playing Minecraft, and I keep saying to them, like, whenever they're playing something or they're like coming to me and they're asking me, can I get Roblox? I'm like, so tell me, do you have stock in Roblox? Like, what are you benefiting from giving Roblox your money? And so they look at me like I'm crazy. And then they're like, well, okay. So then that prompted them to go back and look it up. So now they've looked up who owns Minecraft. And so they found it was Mojang. And so they're like, well, Mojang got acquired by Microsoft. And they're like, well, so do we get Microsoft stock? Like, Mom, do we get Microsoft stock? Is that going to translate to us having Mojang stock so that when we play and we give money to Minecraft, we're investing in our own company? And I was like, now Grasshopper, now you're thinking like Mommy wants you to think.
Yes. Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. And kids don't get these concepts right away. So don't feel bad if you are explaining how compound interest works and they're not getting it. Okay. So we just have to keep at it and not give up, because you think they don't hear you think they don't understand, but one day they will wake up and they will they will say, well, my mom taught me this, my dad taught me this. And they're not going to say, oh, I wish when I was a child, my mom taught me this. You don't want them to say that. And a lot of adults and the woman moms and dads in my community, I get DMs messages every day saying that I wish I had this when I was a child.
Wow.
You know, so be the one who is proactively teaching your kids about money.
No, that's great. That's just so important. I mean, I have to say though, it's interesting though, Dee, because you and I, we obviously were exposed at some point to money concepts, right? I'm sure in Turkey you were exposed to money concepts before you got here, and then you expounded upon that when you did your additional training. But for me, I grew up with a mom who was essentially entrepreneurial spirit, was always, because of necessity, doing like little side gigs to try to make ends meet in our country. But it's like that, and she inadvertently taught me the lessons necessary to have balance when it comes to finances. But that those concepts that you and I both have been exposed to, they're not common concepts. And so many adults have no idea how to manage their money. They have no idea how to even write a check or balance a checkbook. I know we hardly use checks anymore, but I had somebody asked me the other day to write a check, and I was like, oh, that's right. I had to think about it for a second because I haven't written one in a long time. So, but these are the skills that, we really have to make sure, particularly since the kids are not learning, they're not getting economics in class in school anymore. So they're not learning these skills. It's so important for us to have these skills as an adult, and then have a way in which to pass these skills on to our children so that when they grow up, they'll be able to have healthy financial lives, have healthy mindsets about or surrounding money, instead of, like you mentioned before, those catchphrases that we tend to hear, oh, that's too expensive. And so you have that scarcity mindset, or, oh, we can't afford that. Instead of saying that is that price, and that's the price that it is. And it's either I will work towards getting the thing at that price, or I will choose not to have it. Taking the power away from it being a scarcity thing, but putting it more of an abundance thing. So no, that's super important.
The question should be, how can I afford it? So if my son, if we're at Target, and if my son is asking for an expensive toy, I would say, because he has his allowance, he has his spend money, save money, give money, I would say, do you have enough money in your saving jar? And he would say, if it's a really expensive toy, he would say, no, I don't. Okay, then how can you, let's figure out how can you afford it. Okay, so that would be my response. He's like, okay. And then he's like, you want to take a picture of the toy so you can put it on your wish list, on your birthday wish list or your wants and needs list? It's like, okay. And then he would jot down. So that's how the conversation is. So there is no drama at that point.
Nice.
Because we have a solution. He feels empowered that he's going to get what he wants as long as he works towards it. So that's the main goal.
Awesome. That's so awesome. Oh my goodness. We've been talking for like 30 minutes.
I know. Much fun.
All right. So we are having a lot of fun, but we do have to bring it to a close at this point and do our traditional items, which are to fill in the blanks. So Dee, founder and CEO at Kids Money Academy. Are you ready? Are you ready to fill the blank? All right. Awesome. Super excited. I love that you did the happy dance. That's fantastic. All right. So here we go. So the first one is, if I am fearless, I will.
If I am fearless, I will. Okay. For if I'm fearless, I will have my first digital course next year in 2021.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Love it. It's put out in the universe. Now it's going to happen.
Sending
it
to
is
universe.
Going to happen. No, that's fantastic. All right. I love that. And then the next one is, to me, fearless freedom means.
Acknowledge my fears, but take actions anyways.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, my battle cry is?
Oh, my battle cry is face everything, face the fear, but rise above it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, because I know this was a time difference for you to be on the show. So I appreciate you for being on at this time so that, the audience can benefit from your amazing expertise. And I know that they're going to hit you up on Instagram, which is, let's remind everybody, is at Kids Money Academy on Instagram. And then the website is kidsmoneyacademy.com. So check out Dee and both of those places, get the resources that she has to offer, and let's get our cherubs educated, uplifted, and ready to be financially free. Let's do it. All right. And thank you so much, Dee, for being on the show. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time. Fearless Freedom Tribe, you are very welcome. Thank you.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Take care, Fearless Freedom Tribe. Until next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.